you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.
So I just came from watching Companion. It was released on digital on Feb 18th, 2025. This is going to be a mostly non-spoiler review. The film stars Jack Quaid. If you know Jack Quaid, he's from The Boys. So every time I was watching this, I was like, oh, look, that's Huey from The Boys. It also stars Sophie Thatcher. Those are the two main leads. Let's just start with that. And the story is that this is a world of companions, robotic companions, or let me say F-bots, as Jack Quaid's character Josh says in the movie. Wow, this film, damn. I'm glad that such a film has been made. This isn't obviously like a new idea. I'm pretty sure the first film that came to my mind when I was watching this is Her, where some dude falls in love with an AI voiced by, I believe, Scarlett Johansson. But the way the movie handles the topic here, it's not just about the AI, but it's also the whole story around it. So Jack Quaid's character, let me just call him Huey. Huey over here has a girlfriend that is actually a bot. And well, there's a way the movie sets up the whole thing that I really liked. So I watched this thing blind. I went into it super blind, no trailer, no nothing. So there were certain things that were being said in the movie that I was not understanding. Like, for example, there's this one character who hates Huey's girlfriend, and I was like, why do you hate her? And then she says something like, Huey's girlfriend, Iris. This girl says to Iris, you remind me that I am replaceable. Yeah. So I didn't understand that line until later when I knew that she's trying to say that one day, maybe in future, that AI girlfriends will replace real women in relationships. Also, there's a part where Iris is trying to be like, she's trying to tell herself, smile more, act more human or something. I didn't understand it because it was just part of the setup, which I really like. This is obviously not like an original idea. Probably there's an episode of, I don't know, Black Mirror or Family Guy or something that has done this. But the way the execution of this movie is pretty good. The actress playing Iris, wow, Sophie Thatcher, brilliant acting. Her ability to move between AI and human behavior was absolutely stunning. This film brings up so many questions. If you're in a relationship with a human woman and then you sleep with a sex bot, is that cheating? Iris is a bot, but the way she's being treated is not very good. So can bots be victims of bad human treatment? Because you see, a bot is like a fridge or a laptop. You can't say that by hitting my laptop I'm treating it badly. It's not a human being, right? But when it comes to things like AI or F-bots, they have like human emotions in quotes. Is it the equivalent of mistreating a human being? Very nice commentary that the whole film is trying to make you think about. This film is also an allegory for controlling relationships. Josh's character, he begins off as like, I think the movie was trying to portray him as the typical nice guy, that low-key is very controlling and that's why he can't get a real girlfriend. Jack Quaid's portrayal of this character, Josh, is pretty good. The acting in this film, in my opinion, is pretty phenomenal. There's another couple. I think the film put these two relationships next to each other so that you can, like, you as the viewer can compare Huey's relationship with this other relationship, and you can clearly see that Huey is quite controlling. This film is also just an allegory and a commentary on today's dating scene, in my opinion, because Huey, he comes off as, like, in his head he's a decent guy, but he's like the victim of being used by other women, and therefore, since he can't get a real girl, so he decides to get an AI F-bot girlfriend. This movie is also a commentary on how human beings treat each other and just the cruelty of humans. And also it makes you wonder, can AI feel when AI reaches a point of being this complex where it's even the bot doesn't know that it's a bot? This is in the trailer. Yeah, even the bot doesn't know that it's a bot. So once you reach these levels of complex AI, does that mean that AI can also feel? Can it experience levels of human emotion that are simulated, but they are close to what we experience? I really liked this film. I really did. However, the last 20 minutes of this film is where everything fell apart. Because in the opening of the film, even in the trailer, Iris says that, I don't know, the two most impactful days of her life were the day she met Josh and the day she killed Josh.
The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
This is said in the trailer. So this comes off as a spoiler, sort of, because it's in the trailer and also it's in the opening of the movie. Also, the ending comes off as like the director or the writer wrote the whole thing, and then he wrote like 1 hour, 10 minutes of it. And then the last like 20 minutes, someone came and told him, oh, by the way, you remember that Josh is supposed to die and get killed by Iris? The last 20 minutes of this film they didn't work for me because certain rules that were in the movie started being broken. Like, for example, a robot gets rebooted, so everything should be wiped clean, right? But then suddenly this robot can suddenly have like past memories, past feelings. Also, it's been established that these robots can't lie, but there was one robot that was taking part in a lie. If you watch the movie, you know what I mean. There's a certain robot dressed in a certain uniform, and he was partaking part in a lie, but these robots should not be able to lie. Or does it mean only verbal lies? Anyway, in the last 20 minutes, I really feel like they butchered the character of Josh, Huey over here. Because in 2/3 of the film, he came off like this complex character who was kind of right but kind of wrong. I mean, in his head, he's obviously an evil guy, but in his head, he's doing the right thing, or he's a decent guy, kind of like Thanos in Marvel, right? In your head, you're like you're the hero, but really you're the villain. But then in the last 20 minutes, they just make him full-blown generic villain, and I didn't like that. There's this one part where they're trying to portray that Josh is a misogynist because he puts Iris's intelligence at 40%. I found that to be funny. So clearly this film is also trying to be a commentary on misogyny. I liked the whole film, but I didn't like the way it ended. So out of 10, I think I'd give it a 7.5. A 7.5 out of 10. I was willing to give it a 9, but the last 20 minutes really ruined it for me. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to end it that way. If you've enjoyed this review, make sure to smash like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this film if you've watched it. If you haven't watched it, you should really go see it. It's pretty good. All the details that I mentioned are in the trailer. Most of them, all the real details that I just mentioned are in the trailer. But it's really worth watching for yourself. Alright, on this screen I'll leave other reviews I've done for 2025 movies. I'll see you in the next one.